Can you hear it loud and clear? Oh no.
Hello and welcome back to GM32, the hockey podcast. We're excited tonight. We got a great guest. Vito, what do you think?
You know what? She was amazing tonight. She was a blast. She's a gem. She's got her head on her shoulders, and she's a stellar hockey player with some great stories and a great background, and gave us some great knowledge for the listeners.
Yeah, no, absolutely. We've been waiting on this episode for a couple weeks. Had it booked, and she's kind of a big deal. Going to go down in history. First ever goal for the Toronto Six.
First night.
Yeah, tells us about that. So
tells us a couple good war stories too.
yeah.
She's not scared to lay the bod a little bit, huh?
Yeah, she mixes it up.
That's it. Good for her. And hope you guys like it. Hope you guys. Thank you for tuning in so far. We appreciate the love, and we'll get right at you here. Here you go, guys.
Puts it in behind the net for Woods. Back out in front. Eastwood with a chance, and she scores! The first goal in Toronto 6 history goes to Lindsay Eastwood. And they break out to a 1-0 lead.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, welcome back to GM32, the hockey podcast. I'm Vito Scaringi.
I'm Carson Johnstone. We're here at the Slim Reaper tonight, too. We got our third man in, Johnny, with us. We're excited about tonight. We got an awesome guest. Lindsay Eastwood is here with us tonight. She plays the Toronto Six. She's going to have a great story for us growing up playing hockey and that, so we're excited.
Yeah, it's going to be a dynamite one tonight, and we're excited, and we're real grateful to have you on and agreeing. We've kind of booked you for probably, it's been a couple weeks now. We've been waiting for you to get on here, eh?
Oh, yeah. Thanks for having me, boys. I'm excited. This one's been on the schedule for a while now, but
yeah, I
get chatting with you.
Yeah, I messaged you a while back. I remember, we'll go there right away. I watched you score the first goal for the Toronto Six. I was watching the tournament there, and it was pretty cool, so I reached out, and that must have been a real special moment for you.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. That's definitely a highlight of my career for sure. It's on the top 3, I would say, but no, that was a cool moment.
Yeah, and we can talk about that more later, but we always like to start with our guests just kind of, at the beginning. What do you love about hockey? Why'd you start, and how'd you grow up playing? Just all the good stuff.
Yeah, well, I mean, just like everyone else in Canada, like I come from a hockey family, grew up playing hockey. Everyone plays at one point or another. So my dad, he was a high-level hockey player. My uncle played in the NHL, and my older brother played. So it just kind of came natural that I would play as well. So my dad he'd make an outdoor rink next door and learned how to skate out there. Had the double-bladed runners at one point.
Oh, the bobby blades?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
The bobby blades? Oh, you can't beat those.
Yeah, so I actually wanted to be a figure skater, but parents kiboshed that one pretty quick. I wanted the white skates, and they're like, no way, you can have your brother's hand-me-downs. So I got into hockey there, and thank God, because I'm 6 foot tall, would have been a little bit ungraceful if I was a figure skater. So I grew up playing hockey. I'm from Ottawa, and so just in the Canada system there, and then I went over to Nepean to play some junior.
Okay, cool. So I'm actually not familiar really with the girls' system in the junior league exactly, because I know my cousin played girls hockey, and then she went to play at UOIT, but she played for, I think, Burlington, maybe the Barracudas or something. But is that the same league?
Yeah, probably. So it would be the PWHL.
I think that is it.
Yeah, so we have there's teams all over. It's like I guess it's equivalent to like the OHL of for girls, because we're all over Ontario, so we play kind of like that. We call it junior, and
is there a draft?
Yeah, there's no draft.
No draft.
No draft. So maybe not though. It's close.
Yeah.
Getting the quick call.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's the only I guess junior girls league that I'm aware of in Ontario. So I mean, yeah, I guess you could call it that. And I guess I kind of did want to ask about some details too, just growing up and the opportunities for girls, and what was it like? Did you play any boys hockey growing up, or were you in a girls system throughout, or how did that go for you? Because I know down here, for a lot of girls, they end up doing both. They play little boys and then girls at later.
Yeah. Well, I started out in girls for until like Pee Wee, and then I always played a year up. I'm huge. Like, I'm 6 feet, and I've always been huge. So, and I was pretty good when I was younger. Like they get laced, so I always played a year up, and then they're like, no, we're not going to let you move up anymore. We want you to play with your own age group. So then I went over to play boys for a couple of years. So I played Pee Wee, major Pee Wee, and then minor Bantam, and then I got recruited to go over back to girls and play junior in Nepean, and so I played 4 years there in Nepean junior on the Nepean junior team. And actually, a big thing though, so for girls, like they want you to play girls throughout because they have these like Team Ontario teams, and then they have like Canada Winter Games or Ontario Winter Games and stuff. And in order to play in on those teams, I think now they have like U16 and stuff. You have to be registered in girls hockey, and otherwise they won't let you. If you're in boys, they won't let you try out and stuff. So that's definitely key. And a big reason why I went over, so I could try out for Team Ontario and stuff.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, I think that's probably important, though, and I think it's a good thing because obviously trying to grow the sport, right, of girls hockey. And I even actually question this, and I'd like to get your opinion as someone who plays the sport professionally. I've always kind of questioned why there is no contact, or why you can't wear half face shields or whatever. And I've kind of wondered, what your opinion might be on that, or even coming from boys hockey back to girls hockey. What did you prefer? Because you obviously played contact at that level, correct?
Yeah, I played. That was like right before they took hitting out until like I think it's like Bantam now, eh?
Yeah, that's way up there.
They're all that's I think it's major Bantam now. I think.
Yeah, it's Bantam.
Oh my gosh.
Is it minor Bantam?
Yeah, it's minor, but it's still
Bantam?
crazy.
What were we hitting at?
Adam. Anyways.
Yeah, that's insane. Yeah. Anyways, sorry.
Yeah. No, honestly, well, see, I keep saying this. I'm huge, so I'd have the better end of the stick going into the corner or whatever. Anyway, so I would like to see hitting. I mean, It is pretty aggressive already, women's hockey, especially like I noticed going from college to professional, it gets a little more aggressive. And there's no open ice hits. I mean, there is the odd one. I don't know if you guys saw.
Yeah, we did.
One big hit.
Yeah, we did.
That was a big one.
Yeah.
But yeah, so and you're in the corner. There's not so many of those, but it's pretty aggressive. I mean, I personally would don't hate having to wear the full mask there because I want to take care of my teeth and I don't want stitches or like broken nose or something like that. So I don't hate the full mask, and I just switched over to the bubble, so I think I'm pretty cool now.
Yeah. Honestly, yeah. I mean, for us, I guess it's kind of weird because we were always, if you didn't wear the half face shield or wore the full bubble, you got chirped for wearing the fishbowl and that. But I mean, I guess here in that perspective is different because for us it's obvious, so we'd want to wear visors and that. But anyhow.
No, yeah, that's insane. So you played your minor hockey out there, and then you transferred over to junior. How was that jump for you? Did you find it tough? Was it easy for you from coming kind of playing for the boys too, or how was it?
Yeah, it was okay. I mean, we weren't the best team in the league at the time. We were like bottom two. We were pretty bad. Next year though, we were at the top half. But so it wasn't too bad. I mean, I'm pretty slow. I think like speed has always been my weakness. So that was a big adjustment. The speed even, but it wasn't too bad. No, I wouldn't say it's that big of a jump for me.
Right on. Go ahead, Johnny.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you kind of to jump into kind of your, I guess, career at Syracuse and kind of how that process worked, kind of getting recruited there too, and just maybe the whole story, your kind of recruitment there, and just kind of the whole lifestyle there, and what you thought of your time there, and the whole kit and caboodle.
Yeah. So, they start recruiting so young. I think they had to put in some new rules recently. So, I was, the last age group that was, I committed in grade 11. Okay. And that was considered, that was pretty average at the time. And then after my age group, everyone's committing in, grade 9 and 10. And,
really?
They're recruiting grade 8s. That's crazy. You don't even know if they're going to be good in a couple of years.
That's insane.
Right?
Yeah.
So they'd come to our games, and I was getting looked at by a couple schools and went and visit. And I actually really didn't want to go visit Syracuse, and my dad kind of made me. He's like, "We're gonna go. We'll do the tour and all that." And then I went, and I loved it. I want to be a sports broadcaster. That's the end goal.
Nice.
The dream at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So that's and like I understand I'm not going to make millions playing hockey, so my education had to kind of come first there rather than picking the big school with the big rink or whatever. So they had a really good journalism program, so that was that caught my eye, and they let me know early on. It's like one of the top programs in the country, and so I was like super interested. Loved the campus once I got there. I actually loved it. My dad's like, "See, good thing we went." And then like the hockey was like middle of the pack. The team was getting better. They're a newer program now. They're like, I think this is their 14th season, but at the time it was like their 5th season when I was getting recruited, and 6th season. So I honestly, nothing really compared for me. It was close to home, only about 3 hours from Ottawa. It had the big school feel, had the program I wanted, and hockey was like the bonus, really.
Yeah.
I gotta ask you kind of as a follow-up too to that, because like I know even growing up, even watching just like college sports on TV and things like that, and Syracuse is really known for their, I think, basketball program. They got a decent football program from what I know too, lacrosse. And I wanted to ask you kind of more about that type of lifestyle too, where like when I went to college, I know my coach encouraged us to go to all the sports games and support all the sports teams and things like that. And I guess, my question is, was it similar for you, and how was your experience that way?
Yeah, 100%. That was the best part.
Yeah.
The football games, tailgates, basketball games were fun. It was really cool. Honestly, I actually really enjoyed lacrosse too. They were like one of the best in the country. But yeah, no, that's huge, and definitely. I always joke around though and say like, well, we're a hockey school, like everyone competes. Like the basketball and the football, like they all think we're a football school. No, we're a basketball school.
Yeah.
I always say we're a hockey school. We got only a female program.
Yeah, honestly.
No, but that's awesome. It's definitely like a big part of it.
Yeah.
I got to intern for like athletic communications, so I'm like on like the sidelines and stuff during football games, covering the sports. So it was really cool.
Yeah, that's great to have those avenues, especially with such a large scale. Really, at Syracuse, that's unreal. Great practice. Now you were a captain, obviously, at Q's. Now, was that just your senior year, or how long were you a captain there?
So I was on the 5-year program there because I had to sit out my first year. I had to redshirt because of an illness I had. So I got that year back, and so I guess I was sophomore in hockey, but a junior in school.
Mm-hmm.
I got the A. I was wearing the A, and then my senior year, my actual senior year, I was a co-captain, and then my final year, my 5th year, I was a captain there.
Good for you.
That's crazy. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of let's kind of dive back a wee bit here. You said you kind of had an illness. What do you want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah. So this was actually wild. I was heading into Syracuse, and it was like 2 weeks before I was supposed to go, and I'd gone zip lining, and I was hanging from the trees, and then the next day I had a pain in my rib, and I was like, what the heck is that? And it turned out to be blood clots. I thought it was from like a pulled muscle from zip lining, but it actually turned out to be blood clots. So I had to take care of that, and I had to go to Syracuse a little bit late because I was on my deathbed almost, and so everything turned out okay. I'm still here, and we're good. But I guess the doctors told me, like, all right, 3 to 6 months, we'll put you on blood thinners, and then it will dissolve the clots in your lungs, and then you'll be good to go. Hopefully, you should be able to get off them. So I'm thinking first thing, like, obviously it comes to mind is hockey. Hockey, it's not really safe. Blood thinners, if you get hit or cut open, that's you're gonna bleed more on the thinners, or if it hit my head, could get internal bleeding. So it's a little scary. Hockey's contact sport, if we're hitting or not for us. So I got medically DQ'd that year because they told me that I was gonna have to be on this medication, on the blood thinners, for likely the rest of my life because I developed this condition. Oh, wow. So I'm like, was so distraught. Like that hockey was taken away from me. I never even got to wear the Syracuse jersey at this point. Never even got to practice. So I took up rowing. Oh, wow. And so I tried out for the rowing team because I just wasn't ready to not be an athlete yet. I wanted to keep, competing and working out and being a part of like the athletic community. Although like the hockey team was always going to take me in if I wasn't playing or not. But so I was rowing for a little bit. Never got in a boat there at Syracuse, but I did train with them, and oh my god, it was disgustingly hard.
That's insane.
Early mornings. And it's like all hard work, no play. So that's what's like hockey is like you work hard to go play, right? So I kind of missed that. And then almost a year to the day, I went for my annual blood test to make sure everything was good. I had finally accepted that I wasn't going to ever play hockey again. And turns out my blood condition reversed itself.
Wow.
And it was less than a 5% chance that this would happen. The doctors were like, we don't know why. We don't know why I got it in the first place. We don't know why it went away. I don't ask questions. I got to go the thinners and I got to play hockey again.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's unbelievable.
That's amazing. So now you're fired up. You're ready to go, eh? Like you're ready to hop into Q's. How was your mentality going into that now? Like that's the one thing on the show we kind of like, especially like the viewers, the younger viewers, we like to like get different perspective from our guests on their mentality of
mental preparation
of their jump and how they prepare. So how'd you do that coming out of being that sick?
Yeah, well, I hadn't been on the ice for like a good year, and so I was like, we all know, like it's being in shape off the ice and on the ice is totally different things.
Yeah,
so I was a little nervous about that. So I'm like going in, but we're like preseason sucks. Like you get skated like crazy, but I could not wait to get bag skated. I was like, do whatever you want right now. Like I will do it. Like we could no puck practice, please. Like I was just so excited to get back out there and like super pumped. But it was actually we had our exhibition game and my coach actually put me in the lineup and I'm like, you're gonna let me play right now? Like I'm rusty. Like this is crazy. And he gave me a fair shift and I never missed a beat. I guess he like kept me in moving forward and worked my way up the ladder there.
That's awesome.
Yeah, good for you.
Good for you. Yeah, that's great. I mean, that's good of your coach too, really, because if he had showed that he, may not have had so much confidence in you returning, that could have been a mental thing for you. So that's good on him for pushing you a little bit too, I'd say. But anyways, you won a national championship, or did you win your divisional championship with Syracuse?
We won our conference.
Oh, your conference. Okay, that's what it was. So I saw a picture of you holding the trophy. I wasn't sure if it was a national championship or what it was, but how was that? Now winning your conference, that must have been awesome.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. That was like my highlight of my career there at Syracuse. That was so much fun. So that was the first program conference title that we had won. So it was a huge deal, and the team had made it to my time there. We had made it to the finals, I think 2 other times and lost, and just heartbreaking. And then I think we've made it 6 times but never actually won, so it was huge for all the girls that came before us. All that. It was big for the program. So then we got an automatic bid into the NCAA tournament, so we were in the final 8.
Wow.
We got to go to went out to Wisconsin. They put us on a PJ.
Wow.
Set it all up, so it was pretty cool. It was so much fun, and we celebrated pretty hard too.
That's great. So who'd you play? Who made it to the tournament that year?
So we played Wisconsin, and then we lost. Well, we had played them earlier that year, and we lost 10-1, 9-0. It was tough series. And then we went back out there, and we only lost 4-0. So
better showing.
Maybe it was 4-0. And then they played Clarkson in the semis in the final 4, and they lost worse than us. So we're that's our claim to fame. We did better than they did. So it was huge.
Oh, that's good. So now, moving forward, you had to make a decision after college, right? You wanted to keep playing hockey, and you said broadcasting, right, is your thing. So making that decision now, I guess, whether to pursue professional hockey or both, obviously, how does that work? Because it's obviously very different, too, even for men, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I definitely knew, last year around this time, my college career was coming to an end and knew I wanted to keep playing, but there's a couple different avenues right now, so I wasn't exactly sure where that was going to be. So when I finished school, I started, doing my homework and looking into stuff. Thought about going to Europe, but I was we're in COVID right now, probably not a good idea. And then I thought about, I really wanted to go to New York City. I had interviews lined up and stuff in New York City for jobs, and they all fell through because of COVID. And I was that was my big plan. And then hopefully play hockey out there. But then, so I did my homework. I sat in on some PWHPA calls, heard what they had to say, talked to just about every team in the NWHL and listened to what they had to say. And a couple teams wanted to draft me, and I asked, I respectfully said, I don't know what I want to do yet. Don't know what's going to happen. So I'm not going to put my name in for the draft. But, let's stay in touch in case, something changes. whatever down the line. And then in about like end of May, I get a call from Digit Murphy or Mandy Cronin, who's our GM at the time, and in Toronto, and she's like, I really want you to talk to Digit. And I had like turned her down in Buffalo. She was the GM in Buffalo, and then so I talked to Digit Murphy, who's the president of the Six, and
she's pretty
got
funny.
on the phone with her, and like she's had so much energy and so much enthusiasm about the team and the league and everything, and I liked what she had to say and her message. And so like I said, I was still finishing on my school, so I had to do an internship. I did my master's last year, and to finish out our curriculum, you had to do an internship in the summer following like the schools, the classes. And so there was no jobs, and mine had to be in sports media, and like there is no jobs in sports media. Everyone's getting laid off at the time. There's no internships going on that summer. So I told her, I was like, I don't really want this hanging over my head. I don't know what I'm going to be doing yet. And she's like, well, why don't you intern for the team? And I was like, okay, let's do it. So I created some content for the team, and got to play hockey too. So it all worked out.
That's great. I honestly, I'm not sure if you had anything to do with this, but when I was kind of like, I guess, picking a team, when I was looking at the NWHL, just because I kind of decided to, take a larger interest and actually, really watch, the tournament and everything going on this year. I thought that the Toronto Six had the best like media presence, and just everything that I had seen. So I was like, yeah, and also close to home, so I was like, it's kind of natural, right? I mean, I'll be a Toronto Six fan, but it's just kind of funny. So I don't know if you had anything personally to do with that, but it was awesome.
I can't take credit. We have a really good team, social media team. They do a great job. They're pretty witty on there.
That's awesome. So let's kind of dive right into it. Sorry, Carson, just kind of jump right into it. So now you're playing for the Toronto Six. You're all kind of jazzed up, eh? How's it feel? Now, how's that jump?
Yeah, that was I'm super pumped to be playing for the Six, and that was a bigger jump. I mean, I wasn't really sure what to expect. Like I haven't been nervous to play a game in so like a couple of years now. Probably that final game, the conference, the CHA final game. Mm-hmm. I haven't been that nervous. So I was pretty nervous heading into the bubble season there, and like Placid last month, and it wasn't so bad. It wasn't as I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know how fast the players were going to be, or how aggressive, but it was a lot faster than I anticipated. I also hadn't played in the game in almost a year, so that kind of stressed me out a little bit too. I wasn't sure if I was ready, or wasn't too sure. So, but yeah, no, it was a little more aggressive than I was used to. People in the corners in front of the net and stuff, and then definitely faster. There's a couple girls on Minnesota that were just stupid fast. And I'm self-conscious about my speed, so I was like, just don't go wide, please.
Yeah. Just beat them to the post, that's all.
Yeah, there we go.
Oh, man. That's awesome. Well, watching the game, so you guys, how'd you fare in your first game? You guys, if I remember correctly, your first game didn't go so well, and then your next game, you guys improved, and I think you won in overtime, was it?
So the first game we lost 3-0, and then the second game we lost.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we blew a 4-1 lead.
Oh, yeah, that's what happened. I'm sorry. That's a sore spot, too. Right?
I didn't need to bring that one
I was pressing on it.
Who got the one?
Hey. Oh, but you did score the first ever goal in history. So you can tell us about that. We touched on it briefly, and you said, obviously, highlight your career up to this point. But, just up to that point, and obviously everyone in the room wants to get it, and just getting that first goal had to be huge for you and for the organization, just for the team too, right? Getting the monkey off their back, and you're in the league.
No, that was a cool moment, and honestly, in the moment, I was just pumped that we had the lead. Like I didn't even think about like it being the first franchise goal, and then I go in the locker room after, and we're all just sitting around going to cool down, and one of the girls goes, "Oh my God, EC, look at the Instagram, like the Six posted the Q's photo of us," and it was us celebrating. And I go and look, and like my phone is just blowing up. I was like, "What is going on? Like I've scored goals before, like what's going on?" And then I realized like how big of a deal it was. And, like my highlight was on Sportsnet and TSN, and like that brought a tear to my eye because I didn't think I'd ever see that day. So that was it was a really, really cool moment, and definitely I'll never forget it. And like it was exciting for sure.
Yeah, that's great.
You got anything, son?
I do. I got one to kind of it's just kind of off the beaten path a little bit, but I wanted to ask you about the 2019 NHL All-Star Game where they had the 4 ladies represented, two from the States, 2 from Canada, and really just, I mean, I remember, just for me personally, I remember looking back on it, it was a pretty iconic moment, right, where, you know, you had Kendall Coyne Schofield absolutely flying out there, and honest to God, like, I really think it opened people's eyes to the women's game, and just kind of gave people a different perspective on it, and I don't know, I wanted to I guess ask you kind of what your thoughts were when you were watching that, and kind of how that moment has resonated over the next or the following few years.
Yeah, I think that was huge for women's hockey. I mean, yeah, like you said, Kendall Coyne is like, she's unbelievably fast.
Yeah.
I would not want to go one-on-one with her, but no, that was awesome. I think for the game, it got more eyes on, you know, the women's sport, and just shows that, you know, that there's a really good product there in women's hockey, and that, like, you know, we can compete, and, you know, we're pretty good. So I think
certainly.
it just really shows that, and that there's some skill there, and there's a good product to watch, and bringing it back to like the NWHL bubble season there in Lake Placid, like, we were getting, like, on Twitch, like, one day there was like over 1 million views, like,
I was watching,
which was just like insane, like, you know, so it just shows like that there's a product worth investing there, and that people are watching, and you know, I think it comes down to, like, for trying to grow the women's game, you need to get exposure, and that's like the biggest thing. And having those women at the All-Star game and All-Star weekend, that's huge. That'll do it. You know, that just shows, you know, a lot of people probably didn't know there is, you know, professional women's hockey before, you know, and it just shows that there is, and gives them a little taste of what it's about, and that they compete hard and all that. So yeah, getting eyeballs on the women's game is exactly what needs to happen, I think, to grow it moving forward.
Absolutely, and I think they did a pretty good job this year. Now the tournament didn't actually end up finishing, right? And obviously that was due to COVID. That's unfortunate, but I think, you know, a huge leap and bound in the right direction. Just like you said, over 1 million viewers the one day, and it was great to watch. You know, it was exciting, and I think people should stop with the comparison, right? Like, I mean, don't compare it to the NHL or the other things like out there, because it's almost its own thing, right? It's women's professional hockey. It's entertaining, and like, there are different rules too, right? Like, there's less contact, and there's different things. It makes the game a little different, and it's entertaining to watch. So
sometimes there's more contact in those games, but there isn't an NHL game though. Let's get real.
Yeah, lately it seems that
seriously.
way. That's true. That's true.
You're not scared out there. No, yeah, that's it's awesome. It's fun watching you guys too. It's just like no matter what, like, you can just tell it's about the game. Straight up, it's about the game. You guys, like, the love of the game you guys have. How is, like, the camaraderie with the team in the six now, like being a new team and whatnot? How is that walking into that locker room for you?
Yeah, no, that's a good point though that you guys made there. But the camaraderie is unreal. We've actually never all been in the same room at one time because of COVID.
Wow.
So, because we're a brand new team. Yeah, so we've been in a hallway together and on the bench, but that's about it. So I can't wait to, you know, actually all get together and be able to, like, do normal life things. But it honestly, like, it's unreal. I love our team. Like, I think we have such a deep roster on the ice and off the ice. Everyone's unreal, like, great people, and like you said, women's hockey is just, like, all about, like, everyone plays because they love the game. Like, we're not making very much money.
Yeah. So
it's just, like, we're here because we love hockey. We want to keep playing, you know? It's not, there's not really much more to it other than that.
Yeah.
So that's, I think, really important for us. But, like, our post wins, we got a little hot there at the end of the 2-week season there, and our post game win songs in the hallway. We love to have fun with that, little Taylor Swift. So hopefully we can finish out. Yeah, hopefully we can finish out what we started here and get back together here soon.
That'd be great. That'd be great to see it all come together and finish off what it started, because it was great. Like we said, I was just gonna say, it was kind of funny. I was picturing this, like, pivotal moment, like, you know. You said you play just because you love the game. Have you ever seen the movie Mystery Alaska?
I'm sorry,
By
but I
chance?
have not.
No. Oh, anyway, I don't know if you guys
So
have
polite
it.
about it.
There's this moment where this lawyer goes in and because there's supposed to be this exhibition game set up between the guys from Mystery Alaska and the New York Rangers, and the
Okay.
NHL is kiboshing it because they're like, no, they don't want to play, blah blah blah, and they're insulting these guys. And the guy goes in and he says, they don't make $1 million a year. This guy loves the game of hockey, and just we were talking about it. I was picturing this pivotal moment in women's hockey, and I was like, that'd be awesome. But
Yeah, go out and watch that though. That's a classic hockey one.
yeah.
Oh yeah, I can't. I'm embarrassed to say I haven't seen it yet.
Oh, that's okay.
No
it's
worries.
an older one. It's an older one.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Johnny.
You want me to, yeah, I wanted to ask you a little bit about, you did mention your uncle played in the NHL for a bit, and I was creeping your EP page before this too, and I had noticed that he was on there too, and he had quite a long NHL career, it looked like. Did he have quite an influence over your young hockey career, or did he coach you growing up, or how was he in terms of a mentor growing up?
Yeah. He was always coming to the rinks and stuff, and he's always been around. I actually got to watch him play. I was really, really young, but every time he'd come to Ottawa, he'd get us a box, the family box, and we all get to go and watch him play.
That's awesome.
Went out to St. Louis to watch him one time. So, it was really cool, and he's always been involved. My dad used to run hockey camps, and he'd always come out and help out and stuff too. And and now he's still involved. He'll still flip me a text after big games. Like he was texting me throughout the bubble there a couple of weeks ago, and
Awesome.
throughout university. I remember when I was heading into university, he gave me a few tips. I was all nervous about fitness testing, so he's he's been through all that. So no, he's a good shoulder to lean on, and had a lot of great wisdom. He's still involved in the game, and still knows quite a bit. So it's he's a great resource.
That's amazing. Are you Sens fan?
Yeah,
Yeah.
hometown heroes.
That's okay.
You got to be loving Brady.
Most NHL franchises go through rebuild once in a while, so I'm sure they're headed in the
Give
right
him
direction.
3 years.
Exactly.
3 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. 3 years is ambitious. But
After the next 3 years, though. Eh?
yeah, after the next 3 years. So yeah, I had planned to ask you, I guess about your plans moving forward. I guess with the Six, and so you talked about maybe the tournament coming to back together to finish. Have you heard anything about that? I know we actually just got news that we're headed back into I guess red zones around here and back on the ice. But what does that bode for you guys?
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure we're gonna finish this out. I mean, I don't know too much, but I know like that's their goal, and that's what they want to do. That's the plan. It's just been suspended or postponed right now, the semis and the finals. So hopefully soon enough we'll be able to finish that out. Hopefully in the next couple of months, so I don't get too out of shape here.
Yeah.
Don't lose it yet. So
Yeah.
I'm pumped. I hope we can get back to it, finish what we started.
Have you been able to stay on the ice at all? Maybe some outdoor ponds or?
I actually just got out of 2-week quarantine last week from being in the States, so I'm just back out into civilization again this week. So I think next week we're gonna get back on in the rinks.
Awesome.
That 2-week quarantine is so. When I got home from Sweden this year, it's just like, what do you do? Right? Like, oh my God, I watched way too much Netflix. Like, what did you kind of do to kind of get yourself through the quarantine, or maybe for people who are kind of going through it?
Well, so I actually work a 9-to-5 job, and I work remotely. So I was busy during the days. I work 9 to 5, and then in the evenings, I have my own podcast as well. I do it.
Oh, nice.
Awesome.
Oh, plug it.
Tee It Up. Check us out.
Yeah, look it up. Tee It Up.
Tee It Up.
Right.
So doing stuff with that, and but yeah, just laying low. I was pretty tired after all that, so I needed a little R&R as well.
Mm-hmm. I gotta ask you, what's your podcast about? Tee It Up. Is it a golf podcast?
No, it's a hockey podcast. Like Tee It Up.
Getting teed up.
Okay. Tee It
and
Up
then
like
also
a
like
slap.
you spill the tea. So
Okay.
Nice.
So it's with one of my former teammates at Syracuse, Brooke Avery, and now she plays for the Metropolitan Riveters, so now my rival. And so we just do a little show, and we talk like women's hockey. We talk about what's going on in women's hockey, highlight female success in sports. There's lots going on these days, and
That's great.
Bring on guests related to that, and we just have fun with it. Try not to, hockey's supposed to be fun, right? So we don't try to get too serious with it. We just have fun.
That's it. That's
Exactly.
it. That's all we're about.
We talk about that a lot on this podcast, and just I guess development of players, and a recent theme for us has been mental health in hockey, right? And I guess we could ask just your stance and what it looks like for girls in hockey, because even some of the stresses could be different, right, than teenage and adolescent males and females. I remember going through prep school and college, just facing different challenges, right? So I guess from a different perspective in the women's game, what does it look like from the inside?
Yeah, that's a super important topic. Definitely something that you need to take serious, and I think everyone has to take care of their brains and take care of themselves. It doesn't matter what level, that's important. So I know in university, it's a grind. Like you're going to hockey, and you have to do a full day of school. You're working out, and there's tons of pressures around that, and there's no days off. Like you have to show up, right? So it can get exhausting and tiring, and so I know, like, us as a team in university, we really leaned on each other, and thank God we were super close and tight. So we really depended on one another. And then the school, they always provided, there was mental coaches we could talk to
Awesome.
for that, just specific to the athletes, because it's hard to get appointments for therapy and stuff. So that's I think super, super important. And now with NWHL, they've supplied us with an app, Headspace, with a meditation app there, and it gives you some tips and tricks, like for sleep and stuff even. So I actually utilize that every day. I try to meditate every day 5 minutes, and that means I can clear some space in my head. And that's really important to me, because I know I get pretty stressed out like the rest of us. So I know it's important to take care of that, and that's got to come first. And in women's hockey, you're going to see body image issues. We used to have to do weights in university, and like that would just, we'd all be stripping down before we get on the scale, because we had our 50-year-old male trainer writing down our weight. Like that's not easy for girls, right?
We used to be hiding like 5-pound weight in our waistband, just to
Yeah,
try and gain
different.
weight. It's totally different.
Yeah.
Totally different. So it's interesting, but it's important to take care of that, and like I said, just we really leaned on each other during the tough times, and even when a lot of people not playing, like that takes a toll if you're not getting as much ice time as you think you deserve, or you're out of the lineup. That's injuries. It's all, and even concussions can cause a lot of that. So it's really important to take care of that. It's got to come first.
No, absolutely, and we thank you for giving us kind of your insight on it, and because it's a big thing, right? Like it's hockey's it's just a game at the end of the day, you know what I mean? And yeah, we all use it to kind of get away from the outside life, but at the end of the day, we're gonna go back into that outside life. So being able to kind of, like you said, meditate or kind of use your teammates is huge, but. But that's awesome. So I got a good question for you. I'm big on these podcasts with the war stories here. So I know it might be women's hockey, but you guys are gritty out there. You got any good war stories for me? You got any good center ice ones or what?
Oh boy, what do I have for you? Well, I can tell you my first game of boys hockey.
Yeah.
Here we go.
It was like one of my first games. I was playing in like one of those spring tournaments.
Yep.
And it was like right before I made the switch, so I was getting a little taste of the boys. And I hit a guy. I was like wouldn't hit anyone, and finally I hit a guy, and I hit him from behind, and I got kicked out of like one of my first games, because I didn't know what I was doing, and like he was okay, luckily, but yeah, that was pretty bad.
Just
Buried him. What else?
He went down on the game sheet for a CFB. That's all right. He'll take one.
Hey, no sight of that stop sign, huh?
Yeah. I know, it was tough.
That's prime.
It's a tough one, but.
Oh man.
Yeah,
well,
we get a little gritty in front of the net. Like I like that actually during the bubble there's a funny picture. Like one girl's crashing the net hard, and so then we're getting into it after the whistle blows. So I push her a little, give her a little crash check, whatever, pushing her away.
Yeah.
So you got a picture of it?
There's a picture.
Wow.
Of it.
Can we get our hands on it?
Yeah, absolutely.
We're gonna post this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll post it with it. Yeah, absolutely. I'm excited.
So this girl's coming after my goalie, so I get in there, like push her away, and then she like goes down and she looks up, and like we're like having a few words, and then she gets up and looks up, and she's like, "Oh my God, I didn't realize you're this big," and I'm like, "What are you gonna do?"
Yeah. I don't know.
That is awesome. I was gonna ask you, so as a broadcaster too, actually, or someone in this field, what do you think is the way, like moving forward here, how to get some more exposure for women's hockey? You know, like I mean, obviously it's important to get more, and through Twitch, that I thought that was a cool platform. That was a good way, but you know, moving forward, it's got to get better, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think you know the NWHL was off to a good start there. They had that NBC Sports covering the semis and the finals, which was huge. So that was a great start. But moving forward, like hopefully we can get all those games on there. You know, like not just the semis and the finals.
Yeah.
But like exposure, like I mentioned earlier, like exposure is huge. But the thing is that like I don't have cable anymore at my place in Toronto. Like people are getting rid of cable, so there's going to be a shift here, and I don't know. I can't tell you what it's going to be.
Yeah.
But like it's digital, I think is the way we're moving, and I think Twitch is a great platform. They did a really good job. They dressed it up. They had like different camera angles and all that, and top-notch announcers calling the game. So it was a really great production, in my opinion. But yeah, I think if they can keep that partnership and, you know, hopefully expand that, grow that. But obviously we also want to be on, you know, the major networks and get in there. And so that's definitely important moving forward, and getting those partnerships and getting more eyes on it.
Mm-hmm. Now, I actually wanted to ask your opinion on something, because I thought they did a good job too, with just the broadcast and stuff. Now, the one thing I wanted to kind of touch on was some things that were being, I guess, okay, so what I saw, I'll just explain it. So what I was seeing, I think in the one warm-up, there was like the Boston Pride or something did like a bench press skit or whatever, and they kind of like posted it, and I remember thinking like, I know it was like a fun thing, but I was just wondering about the perspective for like the league and like the professionalism of the league. Do you think, like, what do you think the league's trying to promote, I guess, with magnifying things like that?
Yeah, you know, you're not the first person who's brought that up to me. A couple of people have been like, that's, you know, they didn't like that look. And I agree. Like, I think that we're trying to be professional here, and but, you know, we're also unique. We're not the NHL and all that. So, like, I know a couple of my teammates, and like they like to dance around, and people like to keep it loose during warm up, which I'm totally here for. I think that's great. Like keeping it loose and all that. That's a little next level loose. And
yeah, exactly. That's kind of what I was thinking.
It's aggressive.
I mean, if I was on their team, I'd be more worried about them getting in my way, like, when I'm trying to do my warm up. But
exactly.
yeah, I mean, I think I'm not really sure where I can't remember like where it was posted exactly, but like if it's the team platforms, I think it's, you know, that's team by team basis. But then
yeah, that's true.
Yeah, but I'm not too sure. But yeah, I think we definitely do need to. We are now getting exposure, so it's really important that we, you know, show ourselves in a professional light and act like professionals and be professional for sure.
Absolutely. And the thing is too is like it can be a bit of a gray area sometimes too, where I think of the Hurricanes obviously, and with their storm surge whole deal there, and I really think it's a fine line where like you can have that fun, and you know, I mean, people like, you know, a lot of professionals or a lot of broadcasters, I guess I should say, like I remember Don Cherry, you know, he wasn't overly like impressed with the way the Hurricanes were doing it, but at the same time, it's reaching a different audience, and I think that should be noted too. And but at the same time, it's walking that tightrope, right? Sometimes between kind of professionalism and having fun and reaching new audiences too. So.
Well, that's just it. Like, not everyone's gonna like what you're doing all the time, right? You can't please everyone. So it is like we're a newer product, and so it is. Maybe with the times, I don't know. That it's not something I do personally, but who knows? And also, like, if it went viral, you're getting more people, more eyes
true.
There. You know,
bad press is good press.
So it's kind of like, I don't know. You gotta.
And that kind of comes down, I guess, to like individuality, right? Like what your coach is willing to allow, what your organization is willing to allow or promote, or because like I said, the best media presence I thought was the Toronto Six, and I thought they did a good job, and I actually thought Digit was hilarious in some of her interviews. I really did. I thought she was funny, and like you said, her energy was great. So I really enjoyed that. I just was curious about your perspective on some of those things, because I seen some of them, and because I was very happy like with what I had saw, like I said, but I had saw a couple and was just curious about your perspective on them.
Yeah, I think honestly, at the end of the day, we want people talking about our sport for playing hockey, not because what we do, like
Absolutely.
necessarily goofy things off the ice or on the ice. But it does help with traction and getting people on, even if they don't like it, getting the exposure, I guess.
Yeah, of course, of course, right on.
No, that's definitely. But no, you're right. Like it's definitely when me and Carson tuned in ourselves to the Lake Placid tournament. The hockey is just, it was just somehow like that's what really caught my eye, just the way like the battles were, the way you guys held yourselves as professionals on the ice. Like you I'm not gonna say you don't expect it, but like
we hadn't seen a product like that yet.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so that was really awesome to see. We like to finish on a lighter side. We're kind of getting to 45 minutes here. We like to keep them around 45, 55 minutes, but we finish on a lighter side. And anything funny, happen in the bubble or just like interesting stories, we like to just hear some of the funny stuff that goes on.
Yeah, I mean, well, we were summoned to our hotel rooms and then just to the rink, but other than that, but Digit's the story, I think. She's hilarious.
Yeah.
Her energy is unmatched. She, like, her pregame speeches were my favorite part. Like, she had our two assistant coaches who were a little bit more low key, a lot more low key than her, and more serious. And she had them dancing before the game. She's firing up, and it just fires us all up. And she makes us laugh and keeps it loose, but then also, tells us what needs to be done and is serious when she needs to be. So. I know, one time she, comes out with, these tiny hands, just out of nowhere, and, pterodactyl dances. It's just, the silliest things, but it was just, we're just cracking up, and it just fires us right up.
Yeah.
And honestly, I think we had the most fun out of everyone.
Keeps you loose.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
There you go.
You got to know how to reach your players. As a coach, I definitely know the struggle sometimes, right? Got to know how they react. But that's awesome that she's found a way to get you guys going with little arms. That's hilarious. Little arms. Oh, man.
Yeah.
That's great. I don't think we have much left to say, but I really do appreciate you coming on, Lindsay, and, good luck in the future, too. Actually, you know what? I'll ask you, so do you have, what's your contract look like? I'm just curious, for the Six. Is it, multiple years, or what's that, how does that work?
So, as far as I know, everyone's just 1 year contracts, so just year by year. So, we'll see what happens after, when it's all said and done this year. Hopefully, they won't be back.
Yeah. Do you think that's kind of because of, the league as well, just kind of, seeing what's happening, as it develops, or, as it's moving forward?
Yeah, I think there's a lot more turnover. Obviously, there's a lot more turnover than in other leagues, like the NHL and stuff. So, more people might quit, retire or not play the next year than usual, or, they're just, or people moving, whatever is more convenient for them where they live and stuff. So.
Do you think that would change now? See, it's weird. It's the supply and demand thing, right? But if there were a better professional setup, or say there were a partnership or some kind of partnership with the NHL or anybody, do you think that would be better for the sport because the opportunity would already be there, and therefore it would be something for people to strive towards, and therefore maybe less turnover, right? It could be more of a what's the word? Just more of a career.
Yeah, so I think the major goal here that we're all trying to strive for is so that we don't have to work our 9-to-5 jobs, or have to work another job. We can just play hockey. So we need to get to a place with that. And I mean, I don't know if that's with the NHL involved. I don't know how we'll get there. I think we need to grow. It needs to become a business, and we need to get it to that point. So to be able to pay the bills and all that. And but yeah, that will definitely cause less turnover. I know right now it's tough because you're not making enough, to live off of. So people need to live in their hometown cities. And I know I told Digit, I said, I can't move to Toronto without a job. because I'm from Ottawa. I was like, I
Yeah.
can't be paying rent. And she's like, we'll help you get a job. We'll make sure you get a job. And they did. They helped me get my job. And that's basically like why I went. I was like, she better keep her word. And she did. She helped me. I got my job and all that. So she kept her promise and hooked that up, because that's like, people can't just relocate on our salaries right now. That's why you get a lot of people like living at home and stuff with their families or wherever their job is. It's not easy to just relocate. So I think that's why we see a lot of turnover.
Right on.
No, and absolutely, and I completely agree with it. Like, you guys are the best in the world at what you do. You know what I mean? And and you guys, and it's completely deservable. To be able to work out and train and perform and be able to perform at that top level like you guys can, but working 9 to 5, you're not gonna be able to, right? So you guys, that's definitely in the works for you guys, and I'm excited to hopefully see you guys keep moving on up.
Yeah, and see where women's hockey's headed, and we're trying to start a women's program at our prep school as well, a varsity program, high school. So we have the U16, U18 boys we had just started this year, and we're looking to build a girls program. So we're excited about that too, and we want to help build the sport, and I'm gonna definitely be a huge advocate of the sport and continue to try and grow it, because, like I said, I really enjoyed it, and extremely thankful to have you on.
Yeah,
honestly.
Oh, thanks, guys. No, that's great to hear that you're gonna try and grow the program there on the female side, and you know what, and just having me on and talking to me about this stuff, that's huge. And you guys are doing your job, your part to help us out on the women's side. So thank you, and as a fun conversation.
Yeah,
of course. Well, thanks.
Absolutely, yeah. Thank you again, and hopefully we can bring you back on sooner than later. Hopefully you guys go out and win a ship or do something, and we'll bring you back on Salian.
Oh yeah, for sure. I'd love that.
Awesome.
Right.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks a lot.
Thanks,
Have a great
Guys.
night. Bye.
You too.
Bye. Oh man, what a show we had tonight. What a guest, Carson?
Yeah, honestly, just exciting for young women in hockey. If you've made it this far with us, thanks for listening, obviously, and just really amazing to hear her experience and to see too. Like we said, we were watching the games, Avits in the tournament there, and to see the progression of women's professional hockey, and obviously leaps and bounds to go, right? But that's on people like us too, right? To promote the game and help build it.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what? They're doing a great job themselves promoting and whatnot. I think so. And we got a little visit from Keon. What's going on, Keon?
Yeah, heard him barking.
Yeah. And but they're doing great for themselves, promoting and whatnot. And yeah, you're definitely right though. It's definitely on all of us to kind of push it, because it is a big thing going on right now, and they definitely deserve it.
Absolutely, they deserve that opportunity, and like we said, stop comparing it to the NHL, because it's not the NHL, right? It's just different, and it's still entertaining. It's still fun to watch, and like Lindsay said, they're trying to create their own identity. So
it was a blast to watch, man. I had a great time. I can't wait till they get going again.
Yeah, I'm excited. I hope they can get the tournament finished, like Lindsay talked about, and it was great to have her on. Thanks for coming on, Lindsay. And
yeah, absolutely. Thank you very much, and thank you to all the viewers out there. And we just want to give one more shout out to Spotify, YouTube, and Apple Podcasts. That's where we're on. Thank you very much. Just give a little share for the boys. And absolutely, I'm Vito Scaringi.
I'm Carson Johnstone.
And we got one question for you.
Can you feel it now? Would you take